It looks like Amanda Nunes may be returning to combat sports. Amanda announced her retirement after her unanimous decision win over Irene Aldana this past June. Julianna Pena reacted to this. She says that she knew Amanda would come back, and the only reason she retired was for attention.
And then see what happened, you know? I'm still young, you know, fresh, you know, like, we never know. So we have a lot of things to do. I gotta figure out a bunch of things at home still, what I'm gonna do, and see what happens.
Does that mean the door is a little bit open then?
Yeah, I don't know, you know, like, we never know. So I'm a fighter, you know, this is my job, and I love this so much. And I don't know.
How dare she? How dare she say that she's retiring and then one women's fight later, now she's saying she's coming back. Get out of here. Like, look, great for business. I've been trying to coax her into coming back this entire time. So it's absolutely beautiful for everyone. And I knew that she wasn't going to be able to stay away. So I was like, she's doing that retirement for attention. You know, it's just ridiculous.
Dricus Du Plessis does not see Khamzat Chimaev as a valid middleweight contender. Dricus says that nobody takes Khamzat serious.
Do you want to, go after these title defense records? Do you want double champ status? What do you ultimately want your reign to be?
Yeah, listen, I want to do what is expected, because do I want double champ status? Absolutely. But I'm willing to earn that. If there's contenders that make sense, I don't want to fight contenders that doesn't make sense. Fighting Israel Adesanya makes sense. Fighting guys that deserve the title shots makes sense. But I don't want to just fight somebody because I don't want to be Israel Adesanya that fought Sean Strickland. Yeah, Strickland won that fight, but they should have never fought, in my opinion.
When you say contenders that don't make sense, do you mean fighters like Khamzat, who maybe haven't fought a middleweight ranks, because he's also tweeting like "see you soon" and referencing UFC 300?
Yeah, but he said that to John Jones, so I mean, who takes that guy seriously anyway?
Khamzat Chimaev is adamant that Dana White told him that he would be getting a middleweight title shot at UFC 300. Khamzat says that it's bullshit if Dana doesn't follow through. Speaking to ESPN, Khamzat said who else is going to fight him. Israel said he's out until 2027. All of these guys fought each other. It's only me who was undefeated and undisputed. So I don't know. They promised me after the Usman fight that I will for sure fight for the title, and I won that fight. I don't know what's going on. I heard Dana White said that. I don't think Khamzat is next for the title. That's the bullshit, man. What would you guys rather see at UFC 300? Dricus versus Khamzat? The rematch between Dricus and Sean Strickland? Or Dricus versus Israel Adesanya? Post your takes in the comments. Alexander Volkanovski says it was very bad timing for him to step in on short notice and fight Islam Makhachev. As you guys know, Islam was scheduled to defend his lightweight title at UFC 294 in a rematch against Charles Oliveira. Oliveira pulled out due to an injury, so Volk stepped in on 11 days' notice. On the Believe You Me podcast, Volk tells Michael Bisping that 99% of the time he would have been able to take that fight. However, he says during this time, he was recovering from an injury, out of the gym, heavy, and drinking.
I regret, no, look, I don't regret taking the fight. So, a lot of people are like, oh, silly, short notice. I stand by taking short notice fights because I always would. Because I always would, because of the guy I've always been, and I've always been in the gym, I've always been disciplined, and I've always been training, I've always been in good nick. You wouldn't see a time of the year where I'm not in good nick. I'm always training. But if there was ever a time, it was that time. It was just, I'm so upset and disappointed in myself of the timing. Like I said, we've, obviously the new bubs, trying to help as much as I could. The injury, the surgery, I wasn't able to get in the gym. I was, heavy. I was drinking. I just wasn't being the professional, disciplined guy that I always am. And that opportunity come where usually 99% of the time I can take them fights, and you know what I mean. But I wasn't in the gym. I'm not making excuses. Yeah. I knew that going in. I thought, I told myself, this is just how my brain works. This is how us fighters will work as well. I told myself, even though I knew I wasn't in the gym, I knew I was heavy, I was like, look, I know I'm not in good nick, but this is going to make me dangerous because I know I've got to pull the trigger and I know I've got nothing to lose. So you know what I mean? And when I say nothing to lose, as in I can't sit there and beat this guy, you know what I mean, all 5 rounds. I need to go and finish. He's going to mean, I'm usually very calculated. I've got no time to be calculated in there. This is going to make me the most dangerous I've ever been. And I told myself that. The fact that I wasn't in the gym is making me more dangerous because I know I ain't beating him any other way than put one on his chin. And that's that. Yeah. So I'm going to find it. But, so I told myself that. But it just did not go that way. I just couldn't pull the trigger. You know, obviously not sparring. I wasn't doing any sparring because of, you know, obviously the surgery. I just started sparring and I wasn't in the gym much. And I just, you know, I thought it wouldn't be a problem, but just trying to let the hands go. I was just talking to myself, come on, you got to go. Come on, you got to go. But, you know, in the gym, that's why I'm such a big believer in preparation. You need to see when the shots are there. See, you know, I'm known for throwing volume. I do that so I make people fight my fight. I don't let them set things up. I don't give them time to do that. And I did none of that.
Dana White is not set on an immediate rematch between Sean Strickland and Dricus Du Plessis.
Sean Strickland's an interesting thing, right? Like, some of the things he says piss a lot of people off. I'm sure it can't be great for sponsors, but clearly this week he has become a massive star for the UFC. So with that in mind, do you want to give him an immediate rematch because it was such a close fight, or what do you want to do with Sean next?
I don't know. I mean, eventually these two are going to end up fighting again, I'm sure, but we're not thinking about an immediate rematch right now.
Yesterday, Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland went at each other on social media. Sean first posted this to his Instagram, where he said, "I won that fight. The world knows I won that fight. The belt they gave you will never make you a champion. Enjoy." Dricus left a comment saying, "Why don't you cry about it?" Again. Shortly after Dricus left that comment, Sean followed up with another post. It's a photo showing Sean up on significant strikes in rounds 1, 3, 4, and 5. In the caption, Sean wrote, "All right, I'm done complaining. Thanks to everyone for letting me vent. On to the next. I love you guys. Thanks, ESPN." So Dricus is currently partying in Toronto. This footage was uploaded of Dricus in the club, and a sign is being held up saying Dricus is Sean's daddy.
Go, turn around. Turn around, baby.
John Jones gave props to Dricus for his performance at UFC 297. Dricus posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "History has been made. This is Africa. We fear nothing and certainly no one. Thank you, South Africa. It's an honor representing our beautiful nation." John Jones replied in the comments. He wrote, "Nice work." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Zach H420. It says, "I love how Ian can post a video running his mouth, but still has his comments disabled. Dude can handle 0 criticism." The second one's from Sky's Mixed Bag. It says, "Gary commenting on sloppy boxing in the last minute of a 5-rounder. The final one's from 1SK Slade. It says, "Never forget that Ian Gary pulled out of an entire fight because his feelings were hurt. Whatever he has to say is entirely irrelevant." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.